Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. I promise that this will be the last Nevada Grinchin video I do for a long time. But because of some of your feedback, I thought it would be good to address this and do a follow-up video of my Ace collaboration F77, let you know how it's doing now. So I first encountered the brand in a Caseback Tim video where he was reviewing the Spider, and I thought it was an absolutely brilliant looking watch. I hadn't heard of the brand prior to that video. I know that they have a legacy, they've been around, but I just hadn't encountered the brand prior to that. And later on when I saw the F77, I absolutely fell in love with it and promptly purchased one. And of course, when the Ace collaboration came out with the smooth black dial, I had to get that one too. My plan was to get rid of one or the other, either my previous one or the Ace one, and just keep the one that I liked the most, but I might hang on to them both. So the original one can be more of a tool watch, more of a beater version, and the Ace one can be babied a little bit more. But who knows, we'll see. And then when I saw the Antarctic, and not only did it have a vintage aesthetic, but size as well. And now that I own that and have been wearing it a bunch, like right now, it actually has the vibe of a vintage watch also. And prior to getting the Ace collaboration F77, I had zero problems with the first two watches whatsoever. I mean, I guess there was a little problem with the F77 in that they use a lot of Loctite on their screws. So one of them was difficult to get out. Not as difficult as the Ace was. That was so bad I had to take it into my mall guy so that he could dissolve the Loctite and get the screw out. And even then the screw broke in half. So I've had a little bit of trouble, but nothing overly terrible. Now, the Ace was not running well. There was definitely something going on with the movement, but I don't know if it was just gunk, like oil that had been sitting too long, because as you can see from this photograph, it is now running amazingly well. But anyway, I'm making this video because prior to a couple comments that were left on one of my earlier videos, I think about the F77, maybe it was the Antarctic, I don't recall, there was some negative feedback about this brand. And prior to that, I hadn't encountered anyone with anything negative to say about it. And I do appreciate any information that you guys are cool enough to share in comments and messages and whatever else, even if it's negative information on a brand that I clearly love. So I read through those comments. I read through a forum post on the topic where people were perplexed by the brand and why people actually like it. And they mentioned sourcing parts from China and bad quality bracelets and just horrible customer service. And I'm not here to defend the brand per se, but I will share my personal experience now that I have 3 of their pieces. And like I said, the first 2 really had zero problems. The Ace did, and I reached out to the brand and I thought that it wasn't going to go well because I sent them an email and it took a couple days to hear back from them, which was kind of surprising because this is a ultra limited edition watch, and I would think that of all the pieces, you might be more responsive to those people that bought this super limited run that's associated with another brand, Ace Jewelers. But they did get back to me, and at that point in time, the movement was performing really well. This was a few days later. I already had the bracelet taken care of by my local guy, and the movement continues to improve in its performance. In fact, the other day it was down around 2 seconds and actually dropped to 0 seconds off. So it seems to be running pretty well. And the brand has actually followed up with me a couple times since then. I let them know that it was doing much better, asked them if they still wanted me to send it in or just keep an eye on it. I mean, I have a 2-year warranty, so that was my plan, was just to keep an eye on how it's performing, and if it starts acting up at all, reach out to them again and send it in to them. And they kind of agreed with that idea, but they sent another follow-up saying they were going to close the ticket because I wasn't going to send it in, but that the ticket wouldn't be deleted or anything, just temporarily closed. So if I had another issue, I can reach out to them and they'll reopen the ticket and I can send it in to them for servicing. So the customer service that I've experienced personally has not been bad at all, except for the initial delay after my first response to them. It took them a little bit to get back to me after I sent them some additional information. And I've had zero problems with the bracelets. The F77 bracelets, at least, are amazing. Now, the other pieces, they might have problems with their bracelets. I haven't seen any of those in person. So I'm not disagreeing or arguing, and I do appreciate the comments, especially since they were made about a brand that I'm constantly speaking up or clearly like. So thank you for sharing that information. I'll dig in more as far as where parts are sourced from by this brand. Is this brand actually a Chinese brand? Stuff like that. I haven't done any real digging yet, but just from my personal experience, I mean, I love their designs. That's mainly why I like the brand. Like, their watches just look absolutely phenomenal. And I know from my personal experience, it's been akin to other watches that I own, whether it be Longines or other contemporary pieces. So I don't regret getting these watches, and I still like the brand. But as I do more digging into the brand, I'll definitely keep full disclosure about where they're actually based and where they source their parts. I certainly won't go around pretending that they're a full Swiss brand if they aren't. But yeah, thanks again for the information. Whether it's positive or negative, you guys are a wealth of knowledge, and I thank you for sharing that in the comments. Thanks for watching.